Welcome to Nuclear Popcorn. The rules of the game are simple. The host will show the players the last 5 minutes of a movie they haven't seen. The players will have a week to formulate a pitch of what they think the plot is. The closest gets meaningless points, maybe a crisp high five. Probably a smooch on the forehead because they're a good boy. Or girl. The host will then reveal what the actual plot was. And that's it. You'll get it. You're smart. And your host for the week is...
Hi!
Hi.
I decided everybody starts at just going, hi. Hi. I'm just excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Like we don't have him on every week.
It's that, thank you guys for letting me be here. I really appreciate it. I'm very honored.
Of course.
How are y'all doing?
Doing
good.
Well.
Doing
Doing-
good.
It's been a while.
are
It's been
you?
a while.
It has been a while.
Oh, hi. I'm Luke. I'm hosting this
Oh,
week.
That's
Thank you
Luke.
for reminding me, August.
And that's me. I'm August. Hello. Hello.
Who are you other lovely people here?
Hello, Mind
I'm
Toucher.
Hannah. I'm currently drugged up on Mucinex. I have a sinus infection, but I'm fine other than that.
So this episode is going to be great.
It's
This is gonna be
Awesome.
loopy. Absolutely loopy.
I do like the idea that in every episode previous to this, you've started by saying, I am the woman. And by this time, you not saying that, it implies that your new gender is
Drugged up on
Mucinex.
Yep.
And Ben's also here.
Hey,
Ben's
Ben.
Here.
Hi, Ben.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, Ben.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today.
welcome.
What's everybody What's everybody been up to recently? Let's catch up. Let's hang.
Well, we just came back from Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, that gives you reference of when we're recording this.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is 2023.
It is 2023.
wow.
The year of our Lord.
Yes. Anno Domini.
You guys watch any good movies over the holidays?
I watched Bullet Train 3 times in a week.
Oh my
Whoa.
god, yes.
So
Fun.
you hated it.
No, I despised everything about it.
Yep.
Just picked it apart more and more every watch.
I will say Brad Pitt's the only man that can pull off a ponytail.
We've been
Whoa.
new. We've been new.
Not even Matt Damon. Oh wait, no, that's a man bun.
I
Thinking of
watched-
Matt Damon in the Great
Oh,
Wall.
okay, let me correct. Brad Pitt's the only white man that can pull off a ponytail.
Tom Cruise? In that samurai movie?
No.
No? Alright.
I had to check to make sure that I'm right. I watched 7 movies since we've
Nice.
last, like new
Nice.
movies.
Nice.
I watched Frances Ha,
Ooh.
Prisoners,
Ooh.
Glass Onion,
Woo.
Matilda, The Wonder, Practical Magic, and Banshees of Inisherin.
How was the choreography in Matilda?
Choreography
Oh my
was
gosh.
great.
It looks
I
great.
can't stop watching
It
that
was
I've
one.
only seen
wild.
the one clip.
Yeah, no, it was wild. It was
Good.
the kids were really good. I think I gave it like a 3. I was like, yeah, this was good.
It seemed like a 3 kind of movie.
Yeah, it has moments where you're like, wow, and then you have moments where you're like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
What
Yeah.
did you think of Banshees of Inisherin?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so like I laughed or giggled a lot, and
Yeah,
I was like,
it's really funny.
this
but
is fun.
really
Because it's
heavy.
Martin McDonagh, and he writes really good black comedy.
yeah. No, it was good. It was good. What have you guys seen?
Speaking of Banshees of Inisherin, I went to my girlfriend's house and I watched In Bruges for the first time
Oh, I haven't seen
over the
it.
holidays.
Real good.
Real good. Also Martin McDonagh.
Very
Very weird.
it's not politically correct.
No.
No.
By any means.
Got it.
Very much not so.
But it's very fun.
But very few of his stuff really is.
No, right. He kind of pushes the edge a little bit.
and
which is
Colin
why-
Farrell and Brendan Gleeson are just amazing in that movie too. You can tell they have just great chemistry as people, like they're really good friends.
Yeah.
Right.
We rewatched The Batman, and I still can't believe that's Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Like it is, but
my
I was like,
gosh.
"Ugh." I had no idea the first time I saw it. We like walked out, and I was like, that was Colin Farrell
With a lot of
What?
makeup, that is Colin Farrell. Also, my dad and I watched The Fablemans. I had not seen The Fablemans.
Oh, what'd you
Nice.
think?
It was incredible. Very kind of gut wrenching. I assume mostly true story of Steven Spielberg's life. Mm-hmm. It was a lot sadder of a movie than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be real, but it was incredible because it's Steven Spielberg, and yeah. Mm-hmm. And the ending, like the last 5 minutes of that movie, made me so happy.
I love the last shot.
Yeah.
The last
That's
shot
a
where
great shot.
I don't want to spoil anything, but the
Same,
last
I
shot.
almost said
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
It's great.
I think I'm the only one here who thought it was kind of mid.
Really?
Overall, yeah. I thought it was like, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was just somewhere kind of in the middle.
That's
but-
fair.
I think it's one of those movies where it's like, if you don't relate personally to specific things that happen, it's not going
Right.
to be as good, which is fair because, different people resonate with different movies. So I think like that's why us three like it so much, because there's specific things in it that, like, for me it felt like, oh, that's happened to me, like word for word, action for action. Like that's so weird that he went through that same thing.
He's just
Right.
like me for real.
I'm just like Steven Spielberg.
You are.
I'm not Jewish, so I haven't experienced any of that kind of thing.
Gosh, I watched a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a lot.
What were some highlights?
Looking at my letterboxd, I think I watched 28 things
Good God.
since we last.
That tracks with-
Like,
I mean, it
met up in
tracks,
this.
but like,
Yeah, what's
By normal
new?
human standards, that's crazy, but by Ben's standards,
That's
pretty
normal.
normal.
That's
You
Tuesday.
okay?
That's yeah.
yeah.
I should have gone for 30 or
And even 50.
Pinocchio.
tisk.
Pinocchio was
Which
magical.
Pinocchio?
The only good one from
Okay.
2020. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Absolutely delightful.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. Wong Kar-wai's decision to leave left me speechless.
I've heard amazing things about
I haven't
that.
seen it yet.
If you're a fan of Hitchcock or like those twisty turny narratives, this is Hitchcock in Park Chan-wook style. So really, really well done. Uncharted was terrible.
Why'd you
Yeah,
watch it? Why would you
awful.
ever watch Uncharted?
It's for the list to make up for all the movies I missed in 2022. Strange World. Whoa. I have
Really?
a rant on Strange World. It's like it could be a very mid Disney movie, but it could also be like brilliant.
Really?
I think watch the movie if you really want to, but I think my review says everything about it, which, oh my gosh, that movie's got me on edge. Glass Onion was pretty good.
Well, it was all right.
I enjoyed it.
I, still
I
haven't
liked
seen
it more than Knives Out. That I can give
Okay.
it credit for.
Because
I
we
still
had
like
the
Knives Out
discussion.
more, but-
I like Knives Out more too, but we had the discussion of how you don't like Knives Out. So I'm glad this one
I
made up for that.
I still don't like the structure of either one.
I haven't seen this.
I think the
But-
structure is like one of the coolest parts.
Let's not get into it. Just continue. Continue.
They don't want to talk about the movie anymore.
What?
What? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my microphone. To the
You're talking to them.
4 last highlights. After Sun, wow. Bardo by Iñárritu, wow. RRR, wow.
RRR is crazy.
And then Babylon.
I want to see that.
Seems like people either love it or
Gotta
hate
go
it.
see it. It's got mixed reviews, but it's like
It's very divisive. It has like a 50-something on Rotten
it
Tomatoes.
is so movie.
The best part about
I can't say anything else about it
movies
other than
that it
we
feels
just gotta see
Like
it
a
in the theater.
movie. It feels like a movie.
Feels like a movie.
I'm a simp for anything Damien Chazelle touches, so I am very excited for this one.
Absolutely same. But like I guess I don't know. I didn't know what to expect going in other than it would be absolutely ape crap, and that's what I got. And I'm so happy because of it. So
Yay.
Yeah.
Good movies.
Whoa.
Woo. Okay, so long time ago, probably 3 weeks ago, I want to say,
Just about.
we watched the last 5 minutes to Rikki-Tikki-Tavi, which is a repressed movie from my childhood, and I forgot about this movie until like a month ago. And we just rewatched the last 5 minutes, and yeah, do you guys want to recap what has happened to our silly little mongoose?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
starts with a mongoose fighting a snake.
yes.
Like we start. Well, do you know what the timestamp we started at was?
20 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right, and it's available on Tubi.
Tubi for free.
Tubi for free. So you guys can go watch that, or just listen to us describe the last, or both. Probably do both.
Yeah.
both is the most.
Both is
fun.
good.
Have some fun with it. Do both.
I did not know he was a mongoose upon the first watch.
It took me until they called him a mongoose for me to
Yes.
realize he was a mongoose.
Same. At first in my notes I wrote down ferret with snake, Spanish speaking snake.
I wrote down weasel / prairie dog,
I wrote squirrel.
and I think that's totally inaccurate, but I don't know.
I think prairie dog is still better than squirrel, considering
Yeah.
he doesn't have a squirrel tail.
Thing is, I don't know the anatomy of many like long, small mammals.
Small little furry guy.
So I said
With
ferret.
animation too, it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
they
Yeah.
like zip around.
but he's got like red eyes. The
Yes.
mongoose does, and he's fighting a snake.
Which made
named-
me think he was a wolverine. But then I don't know what a Wolverine really looks like.
I'm just thinking of Hugh
Other
Jackman.
than Hugh Jackman running around.
But okay, so he's fighting a snake. What's the name? What's the snake's name?
Starts with an N.
Oh, I wrote
Am I
down.
allowed to help
I
with
wrote
this
it
one?
down
Yes.
Hannah, do you have it?
somewhere.
I put La Gallina, but
I think.
it's-
Wait. I think that's sort of right.
with an N, Nagaina.
It is Nagaina.
Nagaina.
Nagaina, yeah.
Nagaina.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
he's fighting the snake. He's chirping at him. Well, he's like vibrating at the snake at
he's
one
like
point.
Yeah, he was like mimicking.
Working on him.
Yeah.
Oh no, that makes sense.
I wrote-
that he'd be like
I wrote
mimicking.
jazz music in all caps, so I feel that
it's
has
amazing.
is kind of
like
important.
spy jazz music.
It's like
The
a
music in
old,
this is actually great. Like I just rewatched it this afternoon, and there's like a big band kind of live doing the soundtrack, and it's really, really good.
I wish I would have capitalized on that. In my
There's-
pitch, but I didn't. I didn't notice.
There's snake steals a white ball / egg,
I think
Yeah.
it's an egg. I think
hides
it's
in
like
a
snake
hole in
egg.
the ground, yeah.
So
And then there's a whole song about death.
Ricky's
death?
Rikki-Tikki-Tavi is the mongoose,
Right.
Yes.
and he fights the snake and then chases the snake through the garden, and like two birds watch
There's a
overhead.
gazebo.
Oh yeah, they're
I
fighting.
put that in all caps for some reason.
Gazebo.
They're fighting.
Gazebo.
They're fighting in a gazebo. Ricky chases the snake off. Birds are watching. The snake, who's a cobra, goes into a hole, and Ricky follows him. And then the narrator comes on
Yeah.
and goes, most mongooses wouldn't follow a snake into its hole because it might open up and the snake will be able to attack. And then the birds start singing, "Oh,
This
Ricky's dead.
death
We need to
hymn."
sing his death song." So they're like,
There's a pre-established death song.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
It's
like,
a
oh,
death
now it's
song.
time for the sad song of birds bowing with tail feathers spread. Yeah.
Yeah, so they sing about Rikki-Tikki-Tavi's death.
Uh-huh.
And then he pops out of a hole and goes,
It's over,
It's over. The
something.
snake will never bother us again.
Yeah.
And then the death song turns into like a hooray, go Ricky
We won
song.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Ricky song.
Go
Ricky's
Ricky,
all
go
right.
Ricky, go.
And then Ricky is in a bed with a young boy. I thought it was
Girl? I thought it was a girl.
Child.
It's a boy.
His name is Teddy.
It's a boy?
If that,
Yeah,
yeah,
his
that's
name is Teddy.
Yeah,
then
his name's Teddy.
So and
Ricky
they call him that.
saved the garden and Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy's the boy, and Ricky is in the bed with Ricky or with Teddy, and Teddy's parents come in and go, "Oh, he saved the garden and he saved us."
Mhm.
And then the narrator says, "Oh, and he protected. He did what every mongoose should, and he protected the garden for the rest of time or whatever."
Yeah, he kept the garden as a mongoose should, and a cobra will never dare show its head.
I say Teddy has no gender. Because
Teddy is
Yeah,
non-binary.
Teddy Duncan,
I
Teddy
messed
Roosevelt.
that up.
And
Hey, I also thought it was a girl. So
you'll see.
100%.
yeah,
And then it tilts up above the house, revealing a tropical location.
It's tropical?
It looks like, I think I saw palm trees and like.
oh my god,
This is on the second watch, and then it shows the moon, and then.
I did not realize.
So
that.
Glendale.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to. So you guys got it very right. Like, I mean,
Okay.
there's nothing much that's very confusing by the last 5 minutes. It is a 30-minute made-for-TV movie. But yeah, you guys are very accurate in your assumptions.
The recap.
In the
in the
recap.
recap.
We'll see about the pitches.
No, my pitch is so wrong. I did not get the snake's name at all. I forgot there was a narrator. I didn't realize the snake had an egg.
I also forgot there was a narrator.
Yeah, I didn't.
I thought the birds were blue jays, and they very clearly are not blue
Are they
jays.
woodpeckers or what?
They look
kind
more
of
like
bird?
woodpeckers, but
Okay.
They are Taylor
got, like-
birds.
they're what?
Birds.
Taylor birds.
Taylor birds. Okay, because
I
little
don't
red
know what
heads.
that is.
Me neither.
That's what they say in the movie, so that's what I'm going to go
okay.
with.
All right.
So yeah, I guess we can go into our first pitch then, which is August.
Hi. I'm gonna. Mine's not great, but that's okay.
Shush.
Yes, it
it's
is.
It's gonna be
wonderful.
amazing.
Better than
amazing.
nothing.
Do not talk poorly about yourself. I will kick your butt.
He reads it, and we're like, oh.
Oh, that was bad.
No,
you should feel
It'll
shame.
probably be good.
All right, so it starts with Ricky, a lowly mongoose, at a Paris cafe reading *The Stranger* by Albert Camus. I think it's a French name. Because he's French. He realizes he's running late, so he saunters to his car. He drives to a hotel and picks up 3 guys.
Wait, the mongoose. Ricky
Yeah.
The mongoose is sitting at the
He's
cafe.
sitting at a Paris cafe.
Right,
Yes.
reading The
Hops in his
Stranger.
car.
He hops in his car, drives to a hotel.
Just trying
where
to
he picks up-
establish the. Yeah.
He picks up 3 guys, a mean-looking snake, a chill-ass duck, and a sexy frog.
This pitch is great.
Tag
Whoa.
yourself on the frog.
This is like hype frog and toad going on.
So Ricky drives them to a bank. Everyone but Ricky puts on ski masks and goes inside.
Is this Baby Driver?
No.
Fish called Wanda?
Kinda.
Kinda. It's the Italian job.
Ricky sits for a while reading his book. Then the thieves come out with duffel bags full of money and tell Ricky to floor it. Ricky notices the snake's been shot and the duck is covered in blue paint. Then Ricky slams on the gas. Then a nearby group of blue jays, again, I thought the birds at the end of the movie were blue jays, start singing a song about how Ricky is gonna die as they escape from the cops. They're like, oh, it's time to sing Ricky's death song. That happens a couple times where they go, oh, he's gonna die.
He's gonna
and sing
die.
his death
Sing
song.
Ricky's death song.
That's the only song in the movie. Then there's like a 5-minute car chase that ends with the criminal's car in an alleyway, and the mouth is blocked off by a bunch of cops. Ricky sits there calm. Lyle, who's the snake, because I didn't get his name.
He's not a crocodile?
Oh, played by Shawn Mendes.
No.
So Lyle places a hand on Ricky's shoulder and tells him to floor it. Keith, the sexy frog, protests, saying they'll kill the cops. Lyle tells Ricky to do it anyway. Ricky plows through the cop barricade, killing a few of them. Then they make it to a safe house and split the money 4 ways. Lyle pulls Ricky aside and tells him on the next job in a couple days, Ricky's going to have to go into the bank with them, which means he might have to shoot someone. Ricky says that if the snake thinks it's okay, then it's okay. Then Keith, the sexy frog, pulls Ricky aside. He says Lyle shouldn't be trusted. He's a sociopath, and Ricky can't keep tying his own morality to Lyle's. Ricky goes home, spends the next few days reading, smoking, and generally laying about while the others plan their next heist. After a few days, Ricky picks them up for the heist. It goes horribly, mainly because it's the same bank they robbed before. During the heist, one of the tellers pulled out a gun and shot the duck. A customer tripped Ricky, and the frog, the sexy Keith, wooed so many
The sexy Keith.
frog, the sexy Keith, wooed so many of the customers that they wouldn't stop trying to feel him up. And then the cops came before they even got out of the bank. Lyle snuck out of the back, shot a few of the cops and a few hostages. Sexy frog, the Keith, is hidden by a few other hostages.
Whoa.
The duck and Ricky make it to the car, but the duck is bleeding out in the back seat. Ricky is screaming at the duck to hold on. They're almost to the hospital. As he looks back, they veer off a bridge and crash into the river. The Blue Jays again begin singing about how Ricky is dead. He emerges from the river and grabs onto a floating log, yelling at the birds, "I'm not dead, you damn pigeons." He passes out on the log and wakes up hours later on the riverbank in the French countryside. Ricky wandered for what felt like days, completely dehydrated and delirious, until he stumbles upon a huge house full of fleshy, furless giants. He passes out on the doorstep right before they find him. He wakes up a little later in a cage, but he doesn't care since there's a big bowl of water next to him. As he drinks, he hears the smaller of the 3 giants plead in some strange tongue with the 2 larger giants. The larger giants nod their heads, and the little giant takes Ricky out of his cage and holds him and gives him sweet, gentle pets.
Oh.
He learns that this is a giant child, and those are her giant parents. Over the next couple weeks, the child nurses Ricky back to health, giving him food and the warmest of creams to heal his failing body.
No.
Ricky also slowly learns the language of these giants. There's also another giant child, a boy. Ricky rarely sees him because he enjoys playing outside, but sometimes, just sometimes, the boy sneaks into his sister's room and opens up to Ricky about his struggle with his love for biting miniature ceramic horses and the feeling that his parents won't accept him for who he really is.
I mean, same.
He's just like me.
A few weeks later, after the family takes their pictures for their Christmas card with Ricky at the front, the boy goes out to play. After a few hours, Ricky watches the parents, frantic and confused, carry the boy inside and place him on the couch. After an hour, another giant in a white coat arrives and begins touching the boy with various metals. Solemnly, the white coat giant shakes his head and leaves. Ricky learns that the boy was bitten by a venomous snake who was trying to steal the boy's gold-plated G.I. Joes. Ricky knows it was Lyle. The girl goes back to her room and talks to Ricky, telling him how the snake who killed her brother must be stopped, but not killed. He just needs to be captured or driven away. Ricky breaks out of his cage and then the house to go find and stop Lyle, and also seek revenge for the boy. On his way, he runs into sexy Keith the Frog, who has become a real estate agent. After trying to sell Ricky a small 2-bed, 2-bath cottage that was built, then sold by the owners because they moved to Saskatchewan, Sexy, the Keith Frog, tells Ricky where Lyle is. Ricky goes and finds Lyle. Lyle tells Ricky he should leave the Giants, rejoin Lyle's gang. Ricky thinks for a second. He's torn. Either he sides with the snake who has been his moral guide for years, or he stays with his new family. Lyle then places a hand on Ricky's shoulder and says, Ricky, just let me kill the girl so I can have those gold-plated hunky soldiers. This decides it for Ricky. They fight for a while, then Ricky gets the upper hand and has the snake on the ground, a serrated knife to Lyle's throat. Ricky wants to kill Lyle, but remembers what the girl says. Don't kill the snake. So Ricky, content in the moral righteousness of a child, doesn't kill Lyle. Then they get into a fight again. Then we have the last 5 minutes where the Blue Jays once again sing of Ricky dying, but they're once again wrong.
Wow.
So that's my pitch.
Whoa.
Wow.
It was the quickest of my pitches.
I love how you like refer to the big furless giants like they're from the perspective of the animals.
I'm imagining everything from Ricky's perspective.
I love
Yeah.
the song that repeats. That's just wrong.
It's wrong.
Every single time.
Oh, he's
They
dead.
just keep singing
Probably
it. It's
gonna
like,
die
oh,
now.
he's dead.
So
Let's
every
sing it again.
time,
Like,
it's like,
well,
oh,
but
his,
someday we'll be right.
they never are. So you're watching the movie and it's like, oh, his death song is playing. He's not dead.
Exactly. Yeah, so
Gosh.
that's my pitch.
All
Any
for some gold-plated G.I. Joes.
questions, comments,
Few concerns.
suggestions?
So The Stranger by French Guy.
Yeah.
Why was that included? I mean, I guess you read it.
So in the movie it really sets up Ricky's character as being generally kind of carefree. Not carefree, just like he doesn't care about much. He's got no sense of morality, so he's tied it to the snake, Lyle. So he really does whatever Lyle says because he doesn't give a shit either way, but he lets Lyle decide things for him. And then at the end of the movie, he lets the girl decide things for him. He lets the girl be his sense of morality instead of Lyle.
Yeah, my kids would get that on the first. Oh yeah, I watched The Bad Guys over the break as well, which is
how was it?
Animal heist movie. I really liked it. The animation style is really cool.
I've heard the animation is nuts.
Is it Sony?
Really cool. I think. Wait,
I think it's DreamWorks.
Oh, okay.
maybe.
I don't
You
know.
know, I actually don't know.
Maybe Universal.
I haven't seen it. It sounds good. It looks good.
Yeah, but it's like imagine that, but clearly with like gang warfare and like blood and
Super intense.
guns.
I love it. I love it so much.
Thank you. I want the car scene of the bank heist where the duck is bleeding in the back seat. I want that to be very reminiscent of Reservoir
That's
Dogs.
what I was gonna
No, yeah.
say.
Baby Driver meets
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs meets...
French absurdism. Yeah.
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 Yeah, the big three.
Yeah, so
That's-
that's my pitch.
Wow. That's amazing. I
It
love
was good, August.
It was, yeah.
It
I
was
don't know.
good.
I don't know what the negative
you were
self-talk
thinking.
was about.
It's
It's
That
just
was
not my
great.
usual brand. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all right.
Uh-huh, if you
I
say
mean, I
so.
had the boy who loves biting miniature ceramic horses.
Right.
but That's about the most me I got on this pitch.
Like Sexy the Keith Frog. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
Keith, my favorite character.
That was so.
I will
funny.
say he has to change his name because Keith is not a scary name. Maybe
Yeah,
he could change it to Dolph or something.
Boris.
Boris,
would
Sexy
be good.
Boris, the
Se-
frog.
I will say what I wrote down was sexy the Keith Frog.
So in like a last name first name scenario, it would be Frog Sexy.
It'd
but
be
wait.
it'd be Keith Frog sexy the.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
I do want to take this time, though, to remind you that in addition to recording this podcast, this is my trial run for my stand-up routine. So I got some more jokes to run by you, if that's okay.
Yeah, please with it.
Please.
What did the grape say when the elephant sat on it?
I don't know what,
Nothing, but it let out a little wine.
but
Wow.
That was bad.
I know.
I liked it.
Thanks, Ben.
It let out a little wine because like wine.
No, I get it.
I just thought I
the
might have
joke.
to explain it because
You know, Luke,
it's very high level humor.
I
Right,
hope you just
right.
get up there and tell all of these jokes when you do your stand-up routine.
I think it's gonna go well.
I'll be
One
front
right
row.
after the other. Don't
Yeah.
give any breathing room. No room for laughs.
Let me know
Just-
when you're showing at Zany's, man.
Yeah.
Very Dimitri Martin, but nowhere as good as Dimitri Martin. Yeah, I guess that moves us on to our next pitch, which is Hannah.
Says, well, hello, it's me.
See, we're on a theme of French today.
Yeah, we are, I guess,
Yes.
you know.
I will break that theme.
All right. So,
The movie broke the theme. I thought the movie was in the French countryside. It was in the tropics somewhere.
Yeah.
It's somewhere.
I mean, close enough. Same thing. Same thing.
Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, France does have a beach, a pretty famous one.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan. Let's go.
Anyway. Okay, so God is a goose. Hear me out.
What? Hey, huh?
Wait,
yeah.
what? Wait.
Each timeline of our universe is held in an egg. Ricky, a mongoose, is the guardian of time, watching over each of these universes until they are ready to hatch. Ricky has this thing, though, right? He loves listening to jazz while doing his job. Unfortunately, Ricky gets too into the scatting one day to spot that Nagina?
Nagaina.
Not Nagaina.
Nagaina.
What? Gesundheit. The snake and destroyer of the cosmos, self-given title, is stealing an egg all to himself.
He just keeps going around, I am the destroyer of the cosmos. Shut up, God.
Call me as such.
So he's stealing an egg for himself. This egg, however, is our universe, the human world, and it's bound to hatch soon. God the Goose tells Ricky he has to go on a quest to find the missing egg or else. Ricky asks what he means by that, but God refuses to say what, and honestly, he probably doesn't know, because this sort of thing really hasn't happened before. Ricky is nervous because all he's ever done is guard time and space. He's never gone out into it. That night, Ricky has his first vision of the future of a human girl. I'm saying that Teddy's a girl. So Teddy sleeping in her bed. She gets scared, calls out to her parents, who comfort her. She's looking for Ricky, but he's nowhere to be seen. Ricky feels a tremendous connection to the little girl and knows what he must do. Ricky finds his bravery and traverses through heaven/the animal world to find the egg. It's good to note that animals are actually angels who can walk through any hatched universe they so please.
Whoa.
Ricky meets
Gosh.
strange characters of all types, some of whom are willing to help him and others who are working with the snake to take God's power. Throughout his journey, Ricky sees more visions of the human girl. They're always accompanied by a sick sax solo. Speaking of sick, her health is declining as the snake's power grows in numbers.
Poor Teddy.
The snake plans to eat the egg and use the energy of the unborn universe to take over God's position. In the final confrontation, as we saw, Ricky is able to steal back the egg in the final fight in that little dark hole. Our universe hatches at this time, setting the clock back and making things right. Ricky is given a choice by God the Goose to either stay in his job watching over the eggs, or become mortal, join the little girl in the human world, and forget everything about his long and perilous adventure. Ricky longs for companionship and rest, choosing to forget everything and love the little girl despite all the winding down of time. This is why we see him in bed with her, his eyes aflame, his only remnants of his life as a guardian.
Wow.
So in short, Ricky is Jesus, the snake was the devil, and God lays eggs. So long, and good night.
Oh my goodness.
I'm high on Mucinex.
This is great. That was
God
great.
is a woman,
God
and
is-
her name is Mother Goose.
God is a goose.
Oh my
I love
gosh.
that. God is
Thank
a
you.
goose.
Sorry.
High stakes. High
What?
stakes.
High stakes.
Very high stakes.
The bar has been raised, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
That was great.
Oh man.
Oh no.
So we have Sexy Frog the Keith,
Yep.
and then
God the Goose.
God
Keith
the
Frog,
Goose.
sexy the God the Goose.
God is a goose.
Oh my gosh. I have no notes. That was
Yeah,
like
that was great. I just want
all
to
at
watch
once.
that.
Thanks.
We kind of did, but I want to watch your version of it.
That was fun.
Thank you. Oh.
Whoa.
Any
And
other
yeah,
notes?
with like hard jazz playing in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
Is this Babylon? Is this what Babylon
This is what well,
Damien Chazelle, eat your heart out.
I didn't want to say anything,
Coming for your
but
career.
dang.
Oh gosh, I'm glad I went first because I could
I'm-
not top that.
No,
No, stop.
should have been last.
Stop with the
no, I'm
negative
so
self-talk.
sorry.
What are you doing? Any other notes? I don't have any. That
I
was
have
great.
nothing because that was great.
That was nuts.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm all set. Ah,
Y'all want another joke?
Yeah.
yes, please.
Thank you.
Two fish are in a tank. One turns to the other and says, "Do you know how to drive this thing?"
I was not expecting that.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Hey, got the August approval.
Now imagining the fish is John Bernthal.
You're right. You're very right.
I don't know why. The first thought was Walking Dead before Fury. Because there's also a tank in like the first season
episode.
Yeah.
I just watched The Bear, so that's what I thought. That like Chef John Bernthal is a fish.
The Bear is so good.
Which was great. That was a good joke.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And for our final pitch of the round, our boy Ben.
I am our boy Ben.
Hi, our boy Ben.
First name our boy. That's a cool first name.
Our boy.
Our boy.
Our boy.
ARBOY.
It sounds like a bad superhero sidekick. And this is my sidekick, our boy.
Hi guys.
Hi,
I
guys.
was originally called Starboy, but my parents ran out of space on the birth certificate.
They started at the front with the R.
He's actually The Weeknd. He's a star boy.
He's a our boy.
Yeah.
It's short for Richard. I'm really Richard Boy, but no one likes that name.
Let's get into this pitch. Luke, edit that how you please.
Leave that in and
That's
you know
staying
it.
in. Come on now.
Okay. In 1957, Central London, not the tropics, Central London, the mongooses are a gang of youths that fight the snakes for control of the Kensington neighborhood in Central London, not the tropics, Central London. We are in Central London. I typed that a lot. During a fight between the two species, human pest control agents Magnus and Paul break up the brief skirmish when they attempt to wipe out all of the pests in the area with the new smoke technology. The mongooses and the snakes are too quick and avoid any kind of disruption to the fight against each other, and the mongoose leader, Ricky, proposes a big fight between the two groups.
Is this West Side Story?
You were the first to catch it. He approaches his friend Tavi, who is on parole for help. But Tavi refuses, wishing to turn over a new leaf with the help of Gisela, the snake who keeps the Kensington Gardens Hyde Park clear of rodents. Meanwhile, Medusa, snake leader Basilisk's sister, is betrothed to his friend Tiki, but yearns for independence. One night under the silver moon, hidden behind the black polluted skies, Tavi and Medusa meet and fall in love. This angers Basilisk, who agrees to Tiki's term for a big fight if Tavi attends. Tavi voices his love for Medusa, and the couple meet outside of Medusa's snake hole, promising to see each other the next day.
Snake hole.
Medusa's
The snake hole lounge. Basilisk and his girlfriend Asmodeus argue about life in London compared to northern India, where they're from, with Asmodeus believing that British imperialism is good since it brought them to a better place with more air pollution, rats, and crumpets, in spite of the pessimistic and rude Basilisk. The pest control guys, Magnus and Paul, anticipate a fight between the two species, but they witness Tavi and Medusa hanging out romantically, so they shrug off their suspicions of any disturbance because humans react to interspecial relationships well. Tavi takes Medusa on a date to the Queen Victoria statue. He reveals he was imprisoned by the pest control guys for about a year after he nearly clawed a cobra to death, which scared him into reforming. They let him off the hook for probably good behavior or some reason. Medusa makes Tavi promise to stop the fight between the species, and they pledge their love to one another. Tavi tries to convince Ricky to call off the fight by stealing his newly bought gun. Wait, shoot, I forgot to change that. Not gun, because they don't have arms and can't use guns. So
wait, hold on.
He uses his mouth.
Is
right?
Weapon.
Right?
Artificial
Tail?
fangs. They
Tail?
use artificial fangs because both species have to use it in the end fight.
Wait, hold on. Is Ricky's the leader of the mongooses and Tavi is our like Romeo?
Tavi, not necessarily Romeo, but he was a part of the mongoose gang.
But now
he wants to turn over a new leaf
because now he's in love with Medusa.
because he's
Medusa.
reformed, because he's on parole
But
and
then
doesn't
who-
want to ruin his
Wait, who's in love with
Status.
Medusa?
Can't go to the dance. He's on parole.
Tavi.
Okay, he's reformed
Yeah,
and
Tavi.
in love with Medusa.
Tony. Tavi. Yeah.
Tony.
And then Ricky is the leader of the mongooses. So he steals artificial fangs to be used in the fight, but the snakes steal the artificial fangs back. Paul orders Magnus and the pest control guys to stop the fight from happening, but despite their and Tavi's efforts, the fight continues and Basilisk fatally bites Ricky. Yes, Tavi, in a fit of rage, claws at Basilisk and kills him. The mongooses and the snakes flee with the pest control guys arrive, while Tiki finds Ricky's fangs. Yeah, lots of names. Medusa gushes about her love for Tavi to her snake posse in a big musical dance number. She is also a snake, so it looks very awkward. But Tiki arrives and reveals that Tavi killed Basilisk at the fight. Medusa is distraught, but meeting Tavi later, she refuses to let him turn himself to the pest control guys, as it would mean losing him as well, and they plot to scurry and slither away together. Gisela learns of Basilisk's death and reflects on her relationship with a mongoose many years ago, when there was harmony in the garden. Meanwhile, Tiki plots to kill Tavi against the snake's protests. Asmodeus, after identifying Basilisk's body at the morgue, returns home to see Medusa with Tavi as she leaves the apartment, as he leaves the apartment. Asmodeus argues with Medusa but accepts that she and Tavi are in love. While Magnus and Paul search for Tavi, Medusa sends Asmodeus to warn him about Tiki, who still has the gun. Artificial fangs. However, Asmodeus encounters the mongooses who shout racial slurs at her and attempt to kill her, but Gisela intervenes. I didn't come up with example racial slurs, by the way. I decided that would be a bad move.
Yeah, our world already has enough. We don't need any.
Yeah, seriously.
For cobras.
Or cobras, I'm sorry.
But traumatized, Asmodeus spitefully says Tiki killed Medusa in a fit of rage and vows to return to East India, giving up all hope for her future in British imperialism. So Gisela condemns the mongooses, who disperse in shame before pest control arrives and wipes out all of them with their new smoke technology. So all but one of the mongooses are now dead, except for Tavi.
Tavi's the only living one.
Gisela informs Tavi of what Asmodeus has said, that Medusa has been killed, and Tavi scurries into the garden begging for Tiki to kill him. Medusa arrives to his relief, but Tiki emerges and gets into a skirmish with Tavi, which is where we pick up with the last 5 minutes.
The last 5 minutes is the rumble.
And at this point, the writers realize there are too many plot points that they originally wanted to include for a 30-minute family movie. So they tried to introduce a random British family and a couple of singing songbirds. In the end, Tavi defeats Tiki and saves the family, I guess, and ends up with Medusa happily ever after. Until, in a post-credit scene, Paul and Magnus show up immediately after the fight and wipe out all of the snakes and Tavi from the garden with their new smoke technology. Because, in the end, mongooses and snakes are not so different. They lack the right to basic dignity, and eventually will be eradicated by the firm hand of British imperialism. We cut to months later. Asmodeus is in the East India beaches, where she begins a new life in her old home. The end.
All right.
Wow.
Fun.
I just watched West Side Story 2, the new one. And
That's why this came to mind.
Right.
I saw your Be Real and was like, well, they'll get it.
It's, wow.
That's pretty good.
That's amazing. I love it so much.
That's pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty
good.
The random iDubbbz reference.
Oh my gosh.
That was pretty good, Ben.
That's pretty
I
good.
tried to stay on theme. I forgot to replace the one gun. I decided
That was like...
or the two guns, so I changed it. But
I lost track of who was who halfway through.
yeah,
I mean, you do when you watch West Side Story too.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Except Bernardo has a very distinct face, so
I've never
he
seen
was
West Side
in
Story.
the original West Side Story. Bernardo is he's in something. Oh, he's in The Young Girls of Rochefort by Jacques Demy, which is a masterpiece.
Masterpiece,
The
baby.
Umbrellas guy.
Yeah, the Umbrellas guy, Umbrella Academy.
Dang, I guess I gotta give points now, huh?
You do.
I'll do points and then my last joke if that's okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give most accurate to Ben
Oh.
because
Wow.
only because you mentioned India and that's the actual setting for the
Oh.
movie.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
And
I just looked up where cobras were from. It said East India.
you're right. You're very right.
Cool.
And the whole skirmish, I guess, with them fighting is more accurate than the other two as far as motives are concerned. So yeah,
Okay.
I award 7 mongooses to Ben.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
What are you gonna do with them?
Where am I gonna put 'em?
And I'm
Wait, like the animal or the bikes?
the bikes, the BMX
Oh.
bikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
Where
now
am
we
I
gotta
gonna-
build him a ramp.
where am I gonna put him?
Merry Christmas.
Sick
Have
bike
fun with
trips.
your mongooses. Mongooses.
Mongai.
Among Us. I'm gonna give my favorite to Hannah because it took maybe the simplest movie we've ever done for the podcast and just made it this multi-level movie of the cosmos, you know?
Movie of the cosmos.
Ariana Grande was wrong. God is a goose.
God is a goose.
God is a goose.
And lays eggs.
And I award you 19 cobras.
Wow.
Oh, so you got 7?
7
Mike
mongoose
Chouini's
spikes.
gonna have a real problem with that one.
My Chouini.
Yeah. All that to say, August, yours was amazing, and I don't want you to think
I'm not
badly of your
personally
pitch.
offended.
Okay, you just said you thought your pitch was bad, but
Well, it wasn't great.
Bro,
I thought it was
I'm
great.
gonna come over there and whoop your butt. I'm gonna do it.
Whoop your butt.
There's no fighting in the blanket fort.
There is no fighting.
we're
we
recording
are in
this
blanket fort.
in a blanket
Yeah.
fort.
For reference.
If the audio sounds much better,
Stop
it's because we're
talking
in a
poorly
blanket
about
fort.
yourself.
We're in a blanket fort.
We're in a
Stop it.
blanket fort.
Stop
I got
it.
one more
Keep yelling
joke,
at me.
if that's okay with you guys.
Yes.
We love
I
those
guess.
jokes.
No,
I
yes,
guess we'll
please,
allow it.
definitely.
One more joke, if you guys,
I love
will
it.
indulge
No.
me. Tom was excited beyond words. He had asked the girl he's had a crush on for years to go to prom with him, and she said yes. Indeed, Tom had decided he should make this the greatest prom date ever seen in the school. Every detail would be perfect, and his date would be happy. And maybe they would be crowned prom king and queen. Yeah, that's exactly what Tom wanted. So a week before the big night, the teen set out to organize the date. The first thing on his list was to get himself a high-rate tuxedo off the fanciest suit shop in the town. It took a little bit of shopping, but he was very selective at this time. But eventually, Tom settled on a classic black tuxedo. He went to purchase it, but found an absolutely enormous line for the sale, for the only cash register in the store. Tom could do nothing but groan and wait patiently. Sometime later, the sun lower in the sky, Tom emerged from the shop and made for his next destination, the limousine rental place. It was a short distance away, but traffic was thick indeed. It was nearly sundown when Tom arrived, and much to his dismay, there was a long, long line of other teenagers who had the same idea filling up the place. Tom grinned and bared it. This would be worth it in the end, he told himself. The moon was high in the sky by the time Tom returned home. Somehow traffic back to his neighborhood was even worse than it was in the city. At last, the exhausted boy collapsed into his bed and drifted to slumber. All too soon, it was the morning of the prom. Pushing through the intense butterflies in his stomach, Tom knew there was yet more that needed to be done, and soon. He first went to... What?
I'm so scared.
He went first to the barber to get himself a sleek and handsome haircut, sure to woo his date. Much to his dismay, the only decent shop in town was stuffed to the brim with customers. This is going to be a long wait indeed. Finally, leaving with a trimmed head of hair, Tom drove at once to the flower shop. He sought a red rose to place at his date's dress. He should have known better. The flower shop was packed, long line after long line. How poor his luck. Thankfully, a vibrant red rose was available to Tom, much to his relief. And so all was set and ready for tonight's wonders. The rented limo rolled up to her house, and Tom stepped out to greet his Holy smokes, she was beautiful. She was pretty in class before, but with that makeup and that dress, that hairstyle, that bright smile, Tom could only trip over himself, his own mouth, as he stammered greetings. The two got in the back of the limo and drove off to the school.
What is happening?
This is beautiful.
Naturally, there was a long line to get inside. Something about keeping it orderly and not packed at once, Tom had overheard. But the lines hardly mattered now. He had the girl of his dreams to chat with. Slowly, ever so slowly, they made their way into the building. The night proceeded just as Tom had hoped. Absolute perfection. He could tell that she was having a fantastic time. After a romantic slow dance, she looked up into his eyes.
Oh, no.
Babe, I'm thirsty. Can you get me a drink? Of course, anything. And with that, Tom made for the usual refreshments. And there was no punchline.
Oh. No.
I was waiting. I was like,
What?
what's going on?
That was beautifully written. That was so well.
I'll admit, it was not mine. I did not
No,
write this.
still, and then it's like wonderful language, and then it builds to nothing. There's no punchline. I mean, I guess that is a punchline because there have been lines the whole time.
Right. It had to be something with lines because there was
Yeah.
so much of that. I was like,
Yeah.
but why?
Like, that's the one thing that carried over.
August is dead.
was giving a slight chuckle in his grave.
Yeah, that's I have.
my
I have a few of those saved where they're just really long jokes with like a stupid punchline.
Those are the best, though.
Those are the best.
It's like
The horse with the band.
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll get into that one sometime
the
soon.
Yeah.
pink and purple polka dotted ping pong ball.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
Is that a joke or is it just like a story? Like
No,
a
that's
bad
a joke.
Story? Oh, it is a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
one eye, one horn.
no,
flying
it's,
purple
yeah, it's like
people
a
eater.
it's a story. Sorry, doesn't have a punchline, but it's like an unsatisfied.
Yeah.
satisfactory-
I'm lost.
different jokes for different folks.
Okay.
Anyway,
I like that one.
thank you for listening to that long-winded joke. You guys want to hear what the actual Rikki-Tikki-Tavi is?
Yes.
Yes.
Rikki-Tikki-Tavi. What?
I'm okay, actually.
No? All right.
And thank you guys so
Thank
much
you guys for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Rikki-Tikki-Tavi is a made-for-TV movie from 1975 with the wackiest credits I've ever seen.
Matt Healy?
The 1975?
Yeah.
Screw you. So Rikki-Tikki-Tavi is a snippet of The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. And a bunch of these snippets were adapted into television, like kids' films.
That tracks.
This one was adapted for the screen by Chuck Jones, who is
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
the godfather of Warner Brothers, who created Looney Tunes
Oh
and
my
a
gosh.
bunch of household staples.
Got it.
that
And so
explains. It's really well animated. So
it's
Yeah.
very well
Yeah.
animated, very well put together. It was produced, directed, and written for the screen by Chuck Jones.
Wow.
And the narrator. Oh, did we not mention there's a narrator at the end?
did
we did mention
Yeah,
it,
we
but none
did.
of us
Yeah.
know
know
who
who
it
Did
is.
is.
any of you guys pick up on what voice that was?
I'm going to guess
No.
Anthony Hopkins.
That is Orson Welles.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
So
So I was really wrong.
this is Orson Welles of Citizen Kane fame. It also stars Les Tremayne, June Foray, who also did a bunch of. She's a great voice actor. Michael LeClaire, Shepard Menken, and Lenny Weinrib. Very short cast, but it's from 1975 and adapted from The Jungle Book. And it opens on Chuck Jones presents Rikki-Tikki-Tavi from The Jungle Books. That's how it's set up. So we open on. Once the movie starts past the credits, we open on like a rainy day in the forest, and there's a bunch of water going down a rapid, and we see a mongoose trying to like escape and trying to swim outside the stream, and then he escapes and he's just kind of sitting on a perch, and then it cuts to a title card and explains that this is the Sigauli cantonment in India. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't think I am. So it's in India, and apparently this British family is there. I haven't read The Jungle Book. I don't know why they're there. So the mongoose is Rikki-Tikki-Tavi. That's his name. And so he escapes from the stream, but he's all like waterlogged, so he can't move. And suddenly, like Teddy, the little kid, comes up and says like, "Oh, it's a dead mongoose. Let's have a funeral." Immediately ready to just like bury him, but the dad is like, no, let's take him inside and see if he's not really dead. So the family warms him up, and because like they warmed him up and gave him food, like
Do the birds attempt to sing his death song?
not yet.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Why didn't I win most accurate? Because I literally have a scene of
Where
Ricky
he's almost
drowning, and then the girl takes him in. Whatever. I guess his
I
was
give him
India and British.
retroactively. You can split.
No, yeah,
Ben's
No,
mongooses.
I don't want your bikes.
All right.
I will sell them and buy you a real mongoose.
Thank you. That was all I was asking for.
Just a real mongoose.
Take it up with the panel of judges. I don't know.
Take it up with HR.
Take it up with HR. So they warm him up, and he like swoops around the house in this really cool kind of animation to show how quick he is. Like it's in the last 5 minutes too, but it's very well animated.
Yeah, like the zigzagging, like the swishing back and forth is very Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. Which makes sense because Chuck Jones.
Chuck Jones.
But the mom just comes up with the name. She goes, "We'll call him Ricky," and the boy goes, "Yeah, Rikki-Tikki," and that's the only explanation they give for his name.
Okay.
So they feed him a banana, and
Nice.
Yeah. There's a bit in here where he's eating the banana when they save him. And the narrator, Orson Welles, goes, "It was a temptation to eat the whole banana, but Ricky's mother taught him well. a full meal makes a slow mongoose. And like,
So true.
Oh my!
in Orson Welles' deep voice, it's great. And Ricky has narration and a voice. Like, he can talk to other animals in this, played by Shepard Menken. There's a quick bit where like Ricky falls in the bathtub for comedic effect.
Oh.
Same.
Yeah, as one does.
Yeah. The mom doesn't like Ricky sleeping with Teddy because Ricky's like sleeping in his bed with him like all throughout since they found him. Because she's just hesitant and Ricky has to like win her heart over, I guess.
Yeah, he's a wild mongoose.
He's a
Don't
wild-
put
he's
that
a
in the
wild
name of my
mongoose.
child.
I also think that's funny because there are certain instances later where it seems like the mom has a thing for Ricky.
No.
In the things she says. It's not true, but there's certain phrasings that make you think like, wait, does the mom like have a crush on Rikki-Tikki-Tavi? This
She
is
might
kind
not
of
have
weird.
a crush or be in love with him, but like her mentality is like in another life, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm married. I have a son.
In
but, like,
another life.
But another life,
If I were a
Ricky's
mongoose
looking
or
real
you,
fine.
I
the way
love Rick.
he twerks his little squirrel tail and
I'm not
that
saying
sultry voice.
I'm not saying I'm in love with Ricky, but if a witch cursed me to be a mongoose, I know whose house I would go to.
The princess and the mongoose.
You know it's bad when the mongoose is looking better than the dad.
Yeah, no, for real.
It just turns into like a weird way for Chuck Jones to talk about his bad marriage. I don't know if he actually had a bad marriage. I don't know if he actually had a bad marriage.
So the next morning at breakfast, Ricky goes out into the garden just to kind of like snoop around and see what's up. That's when he meets Darzy the tailor bird and his wife. So Ricky can talk to them, like the animals can talk to each other, and they say that Nag ate their baby bird. And it's then revealed that Nag is this big cobra that's been terrorizing the garden. And Ricky's scared at first, but then Orson Welles says, Ricky remembered his one true purpose is to hunt and kill snakes. And so he like fights him. They both like scurry off like, oh, I've never seen that creature before. So Ricky takes a stroll around the garden and comes up with a plan, very Dark Soulsing it, of like trying to guess his attack pattern.
He watched a walkthrough on YouTube.
Yeah.
He knows he can glitch
He
the
watched a
boss into the
Markiplier
corner
Let's
and
Play,
kind of.
And so Teddy finds Ricky in the garden, but right before he can reach for Ricky, Karate, a dark brown snakeling, like pops up.
Oh.
Ricky fights that and wins because Ricky, as a mongoose, is trained to fight snakes.
It's the mini boss. Gotcha.
It's the mini boss. And so now the family is in love with Ricky, especially the mom who calls him handsome.
No.
She calls the mongoose handsome. Before and so
I'd say like cute
I
and
have
cuddly,
questions.
but handsome's a little far.
oh, just wait, it gets better. So they now love Ricky, and then it's nighttime again, and Ricky falls asleep with Teddy. But Ricky goes off for a nightly walk, I guess, to like do his rounds and patrol, whatever. Where he meets Chuchundra, the muskrat. And Chuchundra's real afraid. Like, he's anxious. He says Nag is everywhere that he heard from his cousin, the rat. I don't know.
What?
My cousin, the rat.
My cousin, the rat. That's what he says. And so Ricky, based on what he hears from Chuchundra, he like overhears Nag plotting with his wife, Nagaina, how to kill the father and mother of the family.
Oh,
and
wait. So Nag isn't Nagaina.
Nag is not Nagaina. Nagaina is later introduced as
the wife.
as Nag's wife.
Okay.
So Ricky finds both of them plotting to kill the mom and dad of the family in order to get rid of Ricky. They just want to get rid of Ricky. And they figure like, oh, if we take care of the family, he'll leave. And so Nag hatches this plan by waiting in the bathroom curled up by like a pot in the corner.
Oh, jeez.
Ricky follows him into the bathroom and like straight up pounces on him. Like he gets that red sparkle in his eyes and he just, dude, the fight scene is actually incredible. It wakes up the dad and like it causes a skirmish and Nag is down for the count. Like Nag is dead. Ricky kills him in the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they bring Ricky back to the bedroom in order to protect Teddy for the rest of the night. And the mom calls him brave and beautiful.
Oh,
brave, beautiful
you're
mongoose.
so Ricky. You're so beautiful. You're so
No.
brave. Ricky, you're so
Sleek
beautiful.
brown hair.
I love your eyes. They're so I mean, they're
The
so
red
pretty.
sparkling.
So anyway, the next morning,
Ricky, we can't.
shut up.
Y'all can't see my face, but if you could. Oh.
Ricky, I'm a married woman.
August, shut up. The next morning, Ricky realizes he now has to deal with Nagaina because
The mom tucks her hair behind her ear and goes,
Stop
Oh
it!
my gosh.
Ricky.
like the Radio Rebel kind of.
Uh-huh.
She gives Ricky the radio rebel and goes, Ricky, no.
In the morning,
Sorry.
in the morning, Ricky realizes he has to settle things with Nagaina because she's the only one left since Nag is dead.
And she might be mad that he just killed her husband.
Yeah, she's kind of
Little bit.
pissed.
Okay.
Kind of hissed. If you know what I'm saying.
Hey-o.
Oh my god.
Luke, you have the jokes. I'll leave you to the jokes.
Not good ones. That one was great. So he walks out into the garden to hear Darcy, that same Taylor Bird, singing Ricky's victory song. There's a death song and a victory song.
Nice.
It's this weird musical number praising Ricky. All the while, Ricky's interrupting him, saying, "Where is Nagaina and her eggs? I need to take care of her eggs."
He's got to take care of that mom's eggs, too, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh
Okay,
my
I'm
god.
gonna throw something at you. So he hatches a plan with Darcy and his
Wait,
wife.
what does that even mean?
Let's not question it. Let's keep going.
Sorry, so
What's the next-
Darcy and his wife.
So Ricky hatches a plan with Darcy and his wife to catch Nagaina by where her eggs are, which I guess are by a melon bed.
Oh, you mean like a bed, like a garden bed full of melons. I thought you meant a bed made out of
like
melons.
a sleeping bed made
out
full
of
of melons.
melons. Yeah, I was
I
like,
didn't-
that's a
you know,
bad
that's-
material to make a bed out
That's
of.
not what I thought, but now I want to sleep on a melon bed.
A melon
I think
bed.
it'd be great for your health, just being surrounded by fruit while you
Good for your
It'd
sleep.
be
skin.
real sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Darcy and his wife help Ricky while Darcy's wife is like kind of dragging her wing in front of Nagaina, pretending like, "Oh, I'm injured. Like, oh, somebody come help me." Ricky is destroying all of Nagaina's eggs, like killing her babies.
Oh my god.
It doesn't show anything, but like, yeah. But he leaves one egg unharmed because he hears a noise. Which is the noise is Nagaina trapped the British family at their breakfast table, and is like, "If you guys move, I will pounce." And like, so they're all like stiff as a board. Ricky hears like their scream and comes and tries to save them, and he has the unharmed egg in his mouth, and he says like, "If you let them go, I'll give you your unharmed egg." And she goes, "Okay," and like turns around, and there's this weird, it's like 3 seconds long. He puts the egg down and goes, "Trick, trick, 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 trick," and like, and that's when the fight starts.
Huh.
It's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
Wait, who
Okay.
says trick?
Ricky. He puts the egg down and goes, "Trick, trick, trick," and
So is he announcing
That's
That's
a trick.
a trick?
it was a trick. Yeah, I guess he tricked Nagaina into not.
he's getting in his head? Yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah.
tricked Nagaina.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was him saying that Nagaina was tricking him.
No, he tricked Nagaina into not biting the family.
Okay, good.
I guess.
He's casting a spell.
And that's where the last 5 minutes picks up, of where Ricky says, "Your fight is with me, Nagaina," and
Oh.
fight sequence ensues. Nagaina she does get her egg. That's what she grabs and slithers all over the place and goes into the ground. Ricky follows her. Death song. He's not dead. Ricky's the hero. The mom is in love with him. The end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little sad that they don't show him beat Nagaina or like force her away. or
Yeah, they
anything
were
like
just
that.
like, yeah, all right.
They
Ricky
go into the
just
whole
comes out.
sing a
he's
song
like,
and he comes
it's all
out.
over.
It's all over.
For the tension. It was all for the tension.
It's all for the sexual
No.
tension
No.
between Ricky and the mom.
What is this podcast rated?
I don't remember. I never hit the explicit content button. I probably
We might
should.
have to
I
for
probably
this
should
episode.
start
On
doing
YouTube,
that.
I don't put it. It's made for kids. No, it's not made for kids.
It's not made for kids, but
So that's Rikki-Tikki-Tavi, and it's half an hour long, and it's bananas.
bananas.
So this is adapted from
like a chapter or like a story in the Jungle Book.
Yes.
When was the Jungle Book movie released?
The Jon Favreau one? What? You mean the original
cartoon,
Disney?
yeah.
Let me look it up.
Necessities.
Well, you're at it. When was the Jon Favreau? Was that 17 or 16?
Jungle Book was 1967, so this came out after
67.
the first Jungle Book movie.
Gotcha. And they like...
Which I guess, I mean, there's no mongoose in the Disney Jungle Book, so there are certain parts of the book that they cut out, obviously, and so I guess this is adaptations of those certain sections.
Did they come up with a bunch of different... Or like how many?
I'm not sure. This is the only one that I know of. It's definitely the most popular. It's
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's the only one that really lasted, if that makes sense. But there's also, it comes in a pack of these things called the Chuck Jones collection, and there's a picture of Rikki-Tikki-Tavi on the cover, cute little mongoose, and then beneath it is Mowgli's brothers and the white seal, which is the most terrifying image. If you just look it up on IMDb and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Whoa.
Oh,
no.
what is going on there?
I don't know. I think I had a VHS on this at my grandmother's house, and that's how I watched it. Not the Chuck Jones collection, just Rikki-Tikki-Tavi.
It just looks like Chuck Jones has got a weird thing where he likes
There's a
pairing
lot
up
going
humans
on.
and animals.
That's a great note to end the episode. So that's Rikki-Tikki-Tavi from 1975.
All right.
And yeah, so I guess next week our host is August.
Hi, I'm August.
What's our movie?
Oh crap. All right. So it's kind of sucks, but our movie for next week is Dark City. The part that sucks about it is that it's not on any streaming website or any platform.
Pirate that movie!
Whoa.
Never mind. No.
No, definitely don't pirate that movie. Don't do that. Don't pirate the director's cut, which is the version we'll be watching. Don't do that.
What?
Well, because I have Dark City on DVD, but it's the theatrical cut, and it starts off way worse.
Oh.
Okay.
So we're gonna be watching the director's cut. I'm gonna be buying it on Amazon.
Got it.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dark City.
Join us next week
All
for
right.
Dark City.
Dark City.
Dark City.
Dark City.
Okay, Patrick, you're starting to bum me out.
Right, the place we never made it to.
Dark
The Goofy Goober's Tears. Speaking of pirates.
And David Hasselhoff.
I rode the Hasselhoff. That's what he says. He says that.
I've been Luke.
I've been August.
I've been Hannah.
And I have been Ben.
Oh, we have to thank the people we thank.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
we
you,
got a lot
Aaron.
more to do.
And Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
We have nobody else to
Thanks,
thank
Aaron.
besides the U.S. Copyright Office.
Oh,
Sweet
yeah,
boy, Aaron.
We're certified.
Nobody else could take nuclear popcorn. Sue me.
No one can take nuclear
Actually, don't
popcorn.
sue me. Please
Please don't.
Yes, neither nuclear nor nuclear popcorn
Can
can be taken.
I'm not saying it wrong. It's nuclear.
But you hear a difference.
There is a difference.
There is a difference.
I'm being gaslit. They're gaslighting.
It's because you're wrong.
Thank you guys so much for listening to Nuclear
This is
Popcorn.
gatekeeping.
We'll see you next time.
It's gonna be some girl bossing next episode.
I'm gonna
August.
throw something at you.
popcorn.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm getting gaslit.